Me?
10 to 15 years old.
Oh, this is the camera. Okay, right here. Good. Okay, now I'm going to go live right now. So last time we used this as a template to do the tracing ink work. Today we're going to finish the coloring. So I turn this backwards. Just use the white paper. So you can see color better. Whoops, this is not sticky enough. Okay, I need more. And you can paint along if you like, or you can just take notes watching me and do it later or at home. So get some water. Let me put my ink work on first, so you can. Okay, I'm going to. I have prepared backing paper just in case we need to mount it. So this is the original. This is just a attachment paper I use as a protection sheet. You can also use the release paper later. So this is the halfway done painting. I'm going to put it up there with the tape. Do you have any trouble painting the trees? I was.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the winter trees is a challenge. So I'm going to maybe do some trees before I proceed, I think. So let's flip this one. I'll start with another. Okay. Some ink here. Some water. I just stand up. Oops. Too many wires around here. I better use more wire here. I need to make sure that battery will last. Okay. So if you want to take notes, or you can paint along some diagrams. So the main thing I'm talking about is how to paint the tree trunk and the branches. So usually we start from top down. Okay, one is from top down. All the lines, most of them, okay. And then from it depends on your hand, maybe left to right, or if you're left-handed, it may be different, okay. I will do it left to right. Okay, let me explain, okay. So let's say I'll give you a mental image first. Let's say we do a tree that has this kind of shape. Okay. How you start? The principle is we start from double line to single line. Okay, this is maybe an arrow. Okay. Single line. Okay. What that means is you start from the trunk. Let's just do something like that. It could be straight. It could be leaned. It depends on the gesture of the tree. Let's just see if you have the handout. I mean, well, we can use that handout as reference. Okay, we just draw that tree. Maybe this is more relevant. So we just do the front tree, for example, that first tree, and then the next stroke. So this goes. This is number one or A or whatever you mark it. This goes down this way, right? And you can see I have frequent press point or pause. We call it 顿, pausing point. So you don't go like just one pipeline. Avoid pipeline. Have nods or frequent stops to when you change direction, especially with this angular style. Everything has a angle. Like, okay, the next stroke is you try to identify the fork. And this stroke is a little bit against this rule because it goes like this. Okay, a check mark kind of. Okay, so you can go longer or shorter, but it don't have to be a pop line. Just like that, and you go up like that. So this is one stroke. Stroke number 2 goes from here to here, okay? All right? Now, the third stroke, go back to from top down, right? So you go like that. Basically parallel to the first stroke, but again, don't try to make it like a pipeline, too perfect. When you have those, what they call the fork, you try avoid the fork of 3, like we call it chicken feet. Avoid the chicken feet, or the Y, where you have like a symmetrical division, like this. We in Chinese we say 压叉, avoid 压叉, 叉 is fork, 压 is like Y, avoid Y. Chinese 压 the character 压头 压. For those who read Chinese, so avoid the Y and the fork. That's okay, and then you can add a little bit bark. If it's a pine tree, it will be circular barks, or if it's cypress or something, it's more vertical. When it's vertical, it's like a little bit twisted, so it don't have to be the highlight, not exactly in the center. And notice that this stroke can divide it into 2, so there's a front, back relationship. That could also happen. So you can actually do the 3 and then the 4. That's also optional if this is branches in the front. Another thing I observed in nature myself, if you look at those trees right outside our window, you'll find those branches. Let's just do some more, okay? Or I just draw this tree, maybe something inspiring here. what I see outside the window. Okay. If you add this up, 1, 2, 3, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 is larger than the main trunk. So many students, they try to calculate, to do the math, like the 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 4, equals 5, whatever that comes. No, that's totally wrong. So in many cases, those branches, the width, the thickness add up to a sum of much larger. So these branches could actually add up more than this the root part. Okay, so you understand all the. If you do this, oh, I have to explain this last point on the next page. I'm gonna flip this. Okay. What's double line to single line? So far it's double line. Double line applies to the main trunk. So we always start from the middle part of the, you can start right here and then extend down, middle part of the fork where the trunk split. And then the lower part is all double line. And then you go up the way it grows towards the sun, right? You have to imagine, especially when you paint the snowy trees, it's very important to keep the trees in with vital energy, the growing power, So it will keep the idea complete, not broken. Okay. So next, I'm going to explain. I think without looking at your homework, you may have made mistakes because this is very common. We all make mistakes like this. Like they will start from top, and then they will do something like that. So this is the first thing we want to avoid when you transfer from double line to single line. What the right way to do? This is the branch. Okay, this is the branch, and here is the double line. I just make mistakes like this to show you all the mistakes I've seen. Okay, so this is kind of boggy line, not natural, right? And this kind of connection is not transfer. It's not very natural. So and the sudden changes in width is doesn't look right. So this kind of mistake, how we avoid those. So how to make this part work? That's the key I'm going to talk about. If you look at the handout, you'll see, near the crown of the tree, the artist would do the single strokes for those branches. So let's say you have a double line. It can go directly. The first line could go directly into the single line, or you can start from another group. So I think it's better to stop at the join, at the dividing transfer point. So where you do this is very important, to make a pause first and leave a little break. So pause, okay, here. And then do another start, do this. Remember we talked about the four branches, and you also need to have some branches have this press end at the end. Not all the branches. This is very common in Western watercolor. They use what they call the rigger brush. Choo, 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 choo. No good. not good in Japanese painting or Chinese painting. We have what we call the bone stroke. Do you understand bone stroke, like a dog bone? Okay, what's that bone stroke? You have a beginning where you hide the tip, or you can have a press end where you hide the tip. That gives more power. Okay, so normally you can do something like that, and here should be a pass, and here you can have like this is fine. Something this is tip exposed, but you need also to have some stroke like a teardrop where you start the opposite, press less and then press more at the end. So you kind of have all this. This is what we call the nail head and the rat tail, right? But if you have all, it will be boring like this. So especially with this Southern Song style, they have a lot of tip concealed strokes, tip hidden in the middle of the stroke, not exposed. Okay. So this I will do some more demo of this. So if I do a horizontal branch, like if even in the flower and birds painting, let's say do a plum blossom, you start from the upper part on the upper part of this double line, right? And then you do another one, not exactly parallel, but relatively. And then you can leave a little space, so you don't make it look like what is called a little tool you squeeze mortar fringe.
Like that?
Fringe, like a squeeze,
Like a base.
squeeze spot. Yeah. So that I tried. You can leave a lot of what we call the absence of stroke. Idea continues with absence of stroke. In Western art, they call lost and found lines or staccato lines in music. It's not, you can have something like that. So leave some break and leave space. So they don't have to complete. Just imagine there's snow on the, like here there's a snow, so you don't have to pull all the branches to the to touch. So as long as the idea complete, let's just make that a snowy tree. And you can to fix that, you can just add another double line. Maybe do the jump there. So use a lot of voids. Voids means soft, not really soft. We have an opposite. We call solid and voids, or empty and full. That kind of. So when you do, just like if you do a snowy bamboo leaf, right? So you don't complete the whole leaf with black. You do only the tip part, and then just let the people fill in the snow in the mind. So this would be something like that. Yeah. So that you know what I mean. So imagine the snow on this. So that's something. When you do those snow trees, you can leave a lot of voids. Yeah, just like lost and found. but your underlying idea is connected. You know, I just avoid with absence of stroke. Idea completes with absence of stroke. That's the idea. Okay. So especially when you do this snow-covered branches, you leave a lot of space for snow. Okay, let's go back to the painting. So we have this painting, which is from the last class, remember? So I would do something like we did in the first last class. I did on the first landscape. I'll do it on the opposite, on the back side first. The reason is I want to create a subtle wash. Let me see, where's my, okay. Okay, let me put tape.
Does your painting have what do you call the plastic on the back on this one?
I haven't put it on. That's why I wait for the back side is done. Because after I mount it with the silicone, I cannot do this. Everything will be on the front. You can do that, no problem. You can mount it first. I was thinking to mount it, but I stopped. I want to show you one more time how to do the wash on the back side. So let me just do this. I think I was thinking we may see a little design, but not really. So I just use that as a backing paper. So not really. I use the Da Vinci's eye as my guide. Still, I can use it if I need to. But this will be difficult because that's the opposite. I don't know how to flip it in Da Vinci eye. You might figure out that, I think. But I'll record it as just a recording, and then we'll find out how to do that later. Because if you flip the image, you have to flip the template that float on the tracing program. Okay, I'll just use the Japanese color blocks. Okay, these are very opaque. So if you use on regular watercolor, it would be too. It's like a gouache. Yesterday we did that in a class. I used this with Robert's class. So I use those, and I'll show you what color I was using. Okay, to wash that, you can spray a little moisture if you want, but to save time, I may just go wet on dry. Maybe some part you can soften it, especially if you want a soft transition into voids. You can wash the empty area a little bit. Okay, some principle of water management I want to share with you is that usually people think, oh, I want to keep this white snow, so I better keep it dry. That's deadly wrong. It's the opposite way. You want to wet the white space, like water, snow, first with clean water, so the color will not bleed in. Think about that.
If you're doing wet on dry, wet the snow area.
Yeah, but that's only applied to soft edges.
Yeah.
If you do a hard edge, it will be different. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes just remember the principle is the water goes to where it's drier. So if there's a bleed into the area you want to prevent from, it's white, you want to put clean water to stop that bleed. Instead of, you can also blot the source of water, but you can also stop it. I can drive it back, especially with absorbent paper. So I wet this snowy peaks and the roof maybe with clean water. I don't know if it works sometimes may not work as the way we think it should work. But I just want to wet all the snow part, the white part I want to keep, maybe a little bit. And it's this empty sky also here. Okay, now I'm going to do the, let's see, my reference is behind me. That's a little weird. Let's see. And this is, I use the phone reference. I can see the color, but you can also see on your phone. I send you this. You can move the picture so you can match the size exactly to the size of the painting. Here it will be too small here to see. Let me move it into the scene so people can see my block. Oh, that's not too bad. So I can see this paper here. But this is, again, it's a mirror image, so it doesn't really help. I just make a recording with it. That's all I need to do. A quick, 1 minute time lapse, record. Oops. I think it's recording, but this one has no sound. So I'm going to do the wash. First, maybe we just follow the watercolor way. So I'll do a little bit, a little pinkish, kind of purplish. Here, I try to separate the. I think this is I have to flip my mind. So this is the distant ground right here. So it's the back side. It's on the back side of this. So I do a warm sky with a little bit pink, very light. Save the white on this. And then transfer to kind of cooler blues. Blue is usually in the distance, in aerial perspective, in Western color theory, right? So that's we can borrow a lot of colors from Western watercolor. That's what I got from this artificial intelligence program, software. It modified it in the eye of the Western eye. Okay, so I just do a sky with a purple, lavender kind of, a little bit pink. But here you want to kind of blur the bondage. So I just combine this here because they're mist and clouds maybe. Okay, let's just do it with a very broad wash. I cannot really see the color reference, but I just use my imagination. So this is a whole piece of rock. I'll make it cooler to begin with on the top, and then warm it up. So this is what we call the high perspective. You look from bottom up, almost like that. But usually we have a peak. But this one, we also have a term, it's called one corner landscape, especially very famous in this period of time by Southern Song Dynasty's master Ma Yuan. Oops. it might drip, but it's okay. I'm going to do this river in kind of blue. And I just do this save a little bit white, bits of white. I'll just hold. So basically, you make all the paper into a blue-gray kind of to foil out the white snow. I try not to use white, but you can use white on the back as well. So just shade the upper part of this inner contour and leave the white top for the snow. Yeah. But this snow could be a little bit bluish. So the whitest part maybe is the snow in the tree, or it's actually the white looks, the clouds in the mist as well as the snowy peaks looks very vibrant in real landscape, right? So we can do that. Okay. I think this is extra margin. I'll just extend that. We don't need to worry about that too much. Can we close the door? No. So here is a little jungle kind of. A little bit tree there. There's a snowy pine tree, but a lot of voice there. And here is the cliff that we need to. I think it should be brown, but I just use my blue first. I leave a lot of unpainted space for the brown. I'll just paint the whole thing. We can. The point is, I don't stop at the margin, I paint all the way off the canvas. So this is this distance here. This is all cool colors so far, right? Now we can change to the warmer colors, just the brown colors. Again, I add a little kind of harsh yellow or something to soften it. So I'll make the trail a little bit. Actually, you can highlight the contour with brown, kind of. Leave some white if you could, just indicate the snow. Okay, the trunk has a white snow in the middle or somewhere, so you don't want to fill in all the browns, but you can highlight the inclines. And this boat is kind of one, I think. This water is cold, and then this is warm. The bank. I don't have a color copy with me, but looks okay. I have to look at the opposite way. So this is the back I'm working on, and this is the trail. It's probably very warm. I think should be a bit warm. Can't really tell. Okay, let's just put some brown there. It will make it closer to the viewer. So this belongs to the same plane. Usually, oops, I confused myself. What's that? I confused myself. This is the rock bottom, right? So I should be a more river behind the rock, but anyway, just leave bits of pockets of white for the snow. Good. Okay. You can recover it if you mix it with white. I'll show you how later. Just do that. There should be no brown in the far distance. We can just use transparent. Oh, I just use some opaque gray blue or something to enhance this part. I want to contrast the roof with a little bit. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I look at the whole picture to see if it's well balanced. You know, when you do one color, you look at this color in all places. That's how I do it. We can still paint on the front, so don't worry about the intense colors. Just kind of like a very subtle one. So now I'm going to flip it. You can also dry mount it, but it's kind of too wet, maybe a little bit too early. But let me see. This is like this is the P paper. It's like a silk. You can lift it without any problem. But if it's a shrine paper, there might be a problem. Whoops, I still got some tail. Because it's wet, it's still vulnerable. Be careful with that. I would probably do the mounting just to see what happens. Okay, I'm going to put, I just remove this sheet. And then let me see if I can do it up here. Okay. I'll put this backing paper on first. With a lot of tape. Let me stop the recording for a while. Okay. Oops. It's hard to find the. Okay, here. This. use surgical tape. Someone introduced it to me. Yeah. That's enough, I think. Okay, I need to put to the iron. So I do drying and mounting together. You don't have to do this, but I just to save some time. Iron it. Set on silk. Okay. Sorry. All right, let me start recording again. Going back. Okay. Now, let's put this painting on. I'll hold it, I'll take this release paper first. Okay. This is the paper that comes with the silicone. Okay. And you can use this sheet as a top, dust protecting paper on the next step. And then I put this painting aligned to the film that attached to the backing paper. Let me just put it in the middle first. Okay. Roughly. Let me see. Yeah, I think it covers almost there. All right. Now, let's go this way. I use a piece of parchment paper. Someone in Hawaii, Brigitte, I think his name. He makes scrolls from scratch and shared this tip with me. So thank for that tip. I just learned yesterday. So this works the best. It will not stick on anything. Parchment paper, and it's heat.
Is that like a commercial parchment paper you could use?
The backing paper.
Baking paper, yeah.
Yeah, backing paper. Yeah. Because if it doesn't stick on anything, that's good. Usually I start from the center, but because of the gravity, I better start from top. Yeah, just you see, I don't need to press too much. Mm-hmm. It just activates the or dry the moisture. This temperature, high temperature silk, set on silk. Parchment paper a little bit crinkle, not just waving. What do you call this? But it's good. Yeah, I like it. Especially you can see through it. I think it's better than the release paper that comes with silicone and is accessible in every family. So that's a good tip. I like immediately share with the world who use silicone for dry mounting. The parchment paper is perfect. It will not. I think it will not take paint. Also, that's good. So just use this as a, because if you iron directly, you can do that, but make sure the iron is clean. It might got thickness on the iron. It's very easy to get dirt. So you must use the parchment paper kind of or use the release paper that comes with the silicone. When I just lift it, that piece of paper is good. And you can still paint on it. That's the best part of the silicone mounting paper. I have a combination of backing paper and the silicone available today. If you want, you can take home. You don't have to pay shipping. Right? To get that in the class. Okay, here is the tape. I want to, because this paper looks so much like a rice paper or mulberry paper. Even if you leave it there, you won't be noticed. This is surgical tape. I'll just take that piece away. Yeah, it rubs away. Good. No tips. If you want to enhance the snow, you can use white. I'll just show you the method. There are many nuances you can polish. Still. So let me just do some touch-ups maybe to finish. I think the trunk, you can use a little bit of white. Let's see if I got the white here. To recover the snow on the branches of the trunk. I got gouache, acrylic gouache. That's what I use. Acrylic gouache. Okay, I just use some directly from the tube. Maybe too dry, so I will dilute it with a little bit of water. You could have done this on the back, but it's more powerful. You can see it just applied. Oops, it covers. That's why you don't want to do it on the front. To be careful, because it will cover the ink. All right, it will cover the ink. So you want to be very precise. If you want to, okay, here. You can have, yeah, if you want, you can cover some ink to make it more interesting. I don't paint the white right in the middle, maybe along one side or something, in the windy side or something like that. If you observe nature, you will learn this kind of yin and yang principles that applies everywhere. Just to don't have to do with the light source, but it has to do with the yin and the yang. As long as it looks and feels right. Just on the upper side.
Sorry.
Okay, maybe I'll give a little hint of like a plum blossom. I do a little bit. It could be magnolia or some kind of early spring blossoms we have in Southern California. It's already blooming, and there are beautiful plum blossom in our neighborhood park, the Chaparron, regional park in Loren Heights. There's beautiful plum blossom, right? Full bloom right now. So, yeah, we went there on the New Year's Day, the Chinese New Year's Day. I just add a little bit warm colors to balance the blue. Okay, I just exhaust the brush with whatever, when I feel appropriate, I just keep working with the one load. This usually generates the best rhythm from reloading instead of reloading too often. You can add some white back if it's like to recover some lost space. I mean the white space. So gouache is it's welcome in this kind of painting. It's okay to use. Okay. There should be a little bit white on the top, I think. That roof, it's kind of in the back. I don't have to paint more white. Maybe a little bit yellow to indicate the temple, kind of feel the roof, golden roof kind of thing. I like to add a little brown, maybe yellow, to give some warmth. I wrote a blog, if you followed my blogs, on the 3 cans in Chinese painting. Namely, it's a viewable. Can means able to 3 ables. Viewable, tourable, touring, viewing, touring, and living. So touring means like trails, boats, this kind of the access to it, trail, the touring. And view usually has to do with a pavilion, a viewpoint. Of course, the whole composition should be a scenery view, right? Cynical. And the livable means there should be buildings, a human, something indicates the human life, not just the cold natural world. So that's why we add some golden color there. Maybe a little there. Indicates some life, some warmth. Okay, here we need to darken this part, maybe. I didn't check the reference. Let me just put it here. So the boat is kind of dark than the snow, right? So you can just do separate that. And this inner part is a little bit darker too. But there's shady part. Oops. That's the bottom of the boat. And there should be a harbor or something like that. And you can enhance the dark, just make it some dark. It will really make the white pop even further. So, and this dark is contrast to the snow in the front. So it's behind the contour, the upper contour here. And they're just tied up. Okay, here's the root, right? The root. And this is the stone. I want to make clear this is the different plan or something. Okay, because this is icy water should be a little bit more, feel like a solid, not too much ripple, I think. Let's just do some. Some texture, maybe, I don't know if it will help to create that kind of feel. So dry brush wash, also very common in Eastern landscape. You cannot really do this on watercolor paper if they don't really like a thirsty brush, right? It will make it very, very rough. But the roughness is what the Eastern watercolor landscape is good at. They try to create this vast and luxuriant feel of nature. So a lot of dry brush scratch, scampering, yeah, that's what they call it in oil painting. Very thirsty brush, scampering. Sometimes too much white may not be good. So you want to kind of make people to focus on the main part. So we just kind of, this part may be the more focal point. This is the focus here. This is a little bit hidden here. So I'll just kind of grade a little bit. This is the mouse dot brush. I use this as a wash brush. So you can do the entire painting with just one brush, basically, yeah. Okay. Any questions? I want to separate some layers here. The dark against light. Shading is usually near the hollow part. Yeah. The lower part. Transitional. So this part is kind of pink. You can mute it if you want to make it cooler. With some blue, it turns into more lavender. But they blend on the paper, so I don't really know what color exactly it will be in the final effect. But if you just blend it on the paper with layers, accumulating layers, you will get the richness of it. And if it's too much chroma, you can use some ink to mute it, or the opposite color usually does best. So just use some brown to mute it. So this we call wash. Wash means no definitive details, just atmospheric. Mist, yeah. Atmospheric. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna stop. export. Done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you using this wash also to create depth and dimension?
Yeah, the kind of enhance it. Yeah. Separate the yin and the yang. I think this trail needs to be a little bit clear. So what you do is to separate the rock from the. Let me see. So here I made. Let me see. It should be white. Okay. The foot of this should be a little bit darker, right here. Actually, you see, this is the piece like this slope right here, because it hides the trail behind. So this is not the trail. Okay, I misunderstood. This is the heel. This is like a slope. So the trail goes from here behind this little hill and then continues in the background. That's the rhythm, I think. So you if you follow this trail, you'll go from here, unboarding, and then you going up, and the zigzag to the background. We just add a little glue to push it back. Okay, this could be a little bit shading. There don't have to be all this white. Just the relative, yeah. Just to make it pop, that's the goal. What I'm trying to do. So I overlapping two complementary colors, the blue and the brown, basically. The brown could be a little bit more pink in this case because the reference has a lot of pink in it. I think that makes it really contemporary feel.
Can you add color once you've painted the thing and it's all shades of gray? I mean, could I?
Oh
add
yeah,
some-
you should do the color after the ink. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I use semi-opaque color. You can cover the ink if you want.
It's nice to see it close
And
up,
what
isn't it?
is-
Yeah, it looks different from far away.
what is
Looks nice
this
from far away.
line? I
This is
mean,
a
Yeah,
cliff.
far away.
You know,
It
it's
is
very
a
close.
cliff,
No.
okay, good.
Yeah, it's a cliff
It's
that
too advanced for me, I can't.
blocking the view.
Abstractly,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Actually, if you have experience with climbing a mountain, the cliff is right above you.
Wanna take a look?
That's a cliff. Yeah.
So this isn't a wash, it's on the front. I mean, it's not a wash on the back of the painting, it's.
This is on the front. Yeah, it's on the front. If you want to cover, you can use the white to
Yeah, I-
prevent the color from the bleeding.
I did
Actually, you can do that. Yeah, as a water resist. And then if it's still needed, you can paint directly in the front. So I have to add a little more even, just to show you the white there. It's not covered to show you the white there. It's not covered enough. So I just go back and so I just go back and do a little bit more.
So what's the difference if you only have the marie colors?
Oh,
Yes,
maroon
I-
color, use the Chinese white. Yeah, you can use that. No problem.
But does it matter whether they're opaque or not? Because ours are not opaque.
The Marie's watercolor, well, Marie's color white should be opaque. Just use it directly from the tube.
But what about the colors?
The colors,
You said you're using more opaque colors?
actually, you don't have to use. These are not opaque. It's a little bit more opaque than Marie's, the Japanese color, but not really opaque. It's semi-opaque, maybe. I consider it semi-opaque. Yeah, it's not really opaque. You can add white to make it more opaque. In Marie's, I don't usually add white. I will add the mineral blue as white,
Okay.
or mineral green as white,
Yeah.
or cinnabar as white.
Cinnabar.
The last result is to add white, because those mineral colors are opaque, and you're supposed to use it as a white, and the brown is semi-white, semi-opaque. Yeah, you can use
Okay.
brown
Okay.
on the back. That's why we use on the back. If you use brown on the front, it will cover. But there's some artists, they want to use the brown cover the highlight yeah. So I just cover some really heavy white to create more sense of snow. You can do some snow splatters if you like. Let me try that. Hold it to that.
It looks so different on the screen.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, to splatter, you can just
It's true.
knock like that. See, it should be there. I think it doesn't matter. I just do it randomly. Not enough.
What color is that?
The white.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
just
Do
remember.
attention this and it will hurt your hand.
Yeah, thank you. That's really good advice.
I like it in the sky.
Okay, you wanted the white in the sky. I use a little bit blue in it, maybe so it's not pure white. Let's just do
It's
this.
supposed to be snowflakes.
Yeah.
Snow on the mountain.
It's a kind of.
Not seeing it.
Maybe too.
It's there.
Risk
See,
is
that's enough probably. You don't want to really overdo it. Yeah.
This is what I've seen.
I got that poster. Marie's.
Are they Marie's, the paints?
I use the Japanese the color blocks.
They're very
There's a set like all opaque colors.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get the opaque color
Oh.
series. Yeah, it's like pastelish color.
Good enough
Yeah.
like
So I use all the colors. I use them in my watercolor class more often. Actually, that's why I got used to it. got stuck to
They're
it.
very opaque.
Yeah, they're very opaque. I use it on the golden paper or golden silk, so it must be opaque to cover the gold. If you go my channel on YouTube, it must be a member to watch now. Guys, I charge like $3 per month for this class. Yeah.
Interesting colors.
Yeah.
This is not a watercolor.
It's a Japanese 吉祥颜料，吉祥叫什么？
Yeah, it looks
美
different.
不是吉祥，
就是不是 watercolor，
是watercolor，
是
是
watercolor，
日本的那
日
个
本的
日本水墨画的他们传统的用颜色，
Japanese
对对对
watercolor。
是实际上差不多，但是他们的颜色比较 丰富一点嘛，就是 it's a more like ready made to use like those lavenders, sky blues.
This is nice.
Can you get replacement pans for these?
No, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I cannot buy the individual pants.
Did you order this online?
Yeah, I also sell them because I bought from Japan, but they're more expensive than what you can get on Amazon, to be frank with you. But the brand I sell is the best. It's called the Mo Yun Tang. This is a more common quality.
Because trying to look at.
How much is it?
I got from Amazon myself.
No, I didn't.
How much does it cost?
I think it's probably,
Only available
I'm
in
not sure, it's
Japan.
50 or something, 40 or 20 something. I have no idea, but I sell like 100 for this kind
For,
Right.
yeah.
Available
Because that's
here?
what I got from Japan. I have to pay like express mail fees.
uh-huh.
So I sell this set in different brands for $99. Yeah. If you want, I have one. I also have the 12 color ones, basic color, not this set. I don't have this set. That's why I got from
It's okay.
Amazon.
Can you turn that over so we can see what,
Mhm.
oh, I don't know. if it's good.
This way.
I think it's just called Japanese sumi ink color blocks or something. Traditional Japanese sumi painting blocks
Okay, thanks.
or cakes, yeah,
Thanks.
cakes, yeah.
Right.
And
Can I order a set from you?
Talkie, okay.
from me, yeah, you can order this. You can check my website. The quality is a little. The color tint is a little different. It's more professional. The one I sell. Yeah. I'll bring them next time. Yeah.
How many colors?
I like this idea.
I have 12 sets and 20, not this one, but it's a different 12. And like 12 among this, the basic, more fundamentals, and the 24 one, 24 colors. Yeah. You can
That's
check
24.
the 24. Yeah, this is 12 opaque colors. I don't have this in my store, but I
So
have.
this, around how much did you say?
I think I don't know. I can
Or you
maybe
can
you can
feel
check on
something.
Amazon. Someone can check. I'll check it later.
Okay,
yeah.
then maybe if you order one, maybe I would like to order
Yeah.
one.
Let me just stop.
你那个笔是多少钱一张？
这个15
大的点
哦，这个34。
34，
嗯，
这蛮好玩的。
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop broadcasting right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.